Hello and welcome back to the new series we are calling Albums and Songs of the Year. Um, so we're back. We are here to talk about 1965, just like any other ranking we would do on the channel. A good albums video is always accompanied by a songs video. And we are today counting down our top 10 songs of 1965. If you saw the first time I did this, where we only lasted through 1965, we didn't get to 66. Hopefully we do this time. Um, it will be the same format. So we're giving you 10 songs each, one per artist. So it's going to be interesting. If you, Chris shaking his head. Um, if you, uh, if you didn't see the albums video, I'd recommend you check it out, as I always do on every songs video. It feels like. Um, and if you have, you're probably annoyed that I keep mentioning it every time. But like like with the albums, I will kick us off. Chris will go second, and then Vanessa will go third. And for 966, we'll mix up the order a bit. So a bit of variety. Hey, the one honorable mention I want to throw out there is People Get Ready by The Impressions. Curtis Mayfield led beautiful soul song. People who know me know Curtis Mayfield may well be showing up again with songs and albums, but he didn't quite make it with The Impressions here. So that leaves us with top 10 proper. My number 10, Do You Believe in Magic by The Lovin' Spoonful. Really, really fun pop song. Not really much else to say about it. It's one of their most famous songs, and I just think it stands the test of time. It's just good 60s pop. Number 9, The Rolling Stones made my list, a band that I don't like that much. And the song I've picked is I Can't Get No Satisfaction, which is just a classic. Like, even I can't deny that. That riff is undeniable. And to me, a lot of people talk about the cool factor of Mick Jagger. Usually comes off more obnoxious than cool for me. But I think this is the coolest he ever sounded. He has such a swagger on this song, which I really love. Number 8, I don't remember if I had those to my last list. I think I didn't. I think those are both new ones. Number 8 is a bit of a curveball. I had this band, it's the Beach Boys at number 8. I had She Knows Me Too Well on my last list. And since then, I've decided to change my pick. And it's from an album that I re-listened to like yesterday with Aiden, shout out, the resident Beach Boys fan. And it's Let Him Run Wild from Summer Days and Summer Nights, which is quite the deep cut. It's kind of a precursor to Pet Sounds in the sense that it's this like really lovely ballad, but then Brian does this incredible like screaming falsetto in the chorus, like let him run. It's like so crazy. Yeah, it's a real hidden gem, I think. And if people don't know it, it's definitely worth checking out. I think it's the best song they released in '65. Number 7, The Who, Kids Are All Right. Love this song. Really great single. Not as big on my generation as an album as some people are, but this song has always stood out for me. I think it's really melodic and really catchy. Number 6, we're going on a bit of a run of R&B, soul, Motown, this kind of world now. My number 6 is Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. They made my top 5 on the albums. Initially, I had the tracks of my tears, and this time I'm switching it up. I'm going with Ooh Baby Baby, which absolute classic song. I mean, the vocal on this is just ridiculously good. In fact, the first time I heard it was Todd Rundgren's cover on A Wizard, A True Star, which is also a great cover, but it doesn't beat the original. I think it's glorious. Number 5, The Four Tops, my favorite Motown group, with I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. I mean, just pure euphoria, so fun, so catchy. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those songs that's like instantly nostalgic. Even though, I'm not sure why. It's just got that feel about it. And yeah, it's undeniably catchy, such a great sing-along chorus, and yeah, I think you'd struggle to find someone on planet Earth who doesn't like that song. Um, Number 4, Otis Redding, I've Been Loving You Too Long. I've stuck with that one. I was tempted to go with his cover of My Girl because I actually like it more than the Temptations version, but I've Been Loving You Too Long. I went for one of his originals because it is really just this really touching soul ballad. His vocal performance is incredible, and it's used very, very, very effectively in Twin Peaks: The Return as well. So, yes, medals. Number three, Bob Dylan. She Belongs to Me is the song I picked from Bringing It All Back Home. Beats any song on Highway 61, even though I think the latter album is better. I think She Belongs to Me is just a gorgeous love song. She's got everything she needs. She's an artist. You don't look back. Just one of my all-time favorite opening lines to any song. I think it's incredible. The guitar on it is so mellow and light and lovely. Number two, almost usurped my number one. I'll Feel a Whole Lot Better by the Birds is my number two, which I think is incredible. I think Gene Clark obviously wrote a lot of the best songs of this period of the Birds, I feel like, because there was a lot of covers and a lot of the originals were his, and you know, they were the ones that kind of stood out the most. A couple other good ones on this one, but this one really is the best, I think. I think the sentiment of the song is like very relatable, you know, when I've talked about this before on the channel, but when like people just kind of exit your life and you're just a bit like, okay, whatever, screw you. You know, it's kind of like got that cool attitude to it. And yeah, the 12 string sounds incredible. Vocals are awesome. Melody is awesome. Short and sweet, beautiful. But it doesn't quite have the mileage within my life as In My Life by the Beatles. Which was my winner last time, and I couldn't look past it this time. That guitar riff is so simple and so beautiful. The instrumental break by George Martin is great as well. Lyrics are probably the best John Lennon ever wrote. Very nostalgic, very beautiful. In My Life, number one.
Okay, nice list. Yeah. I think we will share a couple and we'll even share one exact placement, which is cool. Like the song and place, whatever. Okay. Yeah, no honorable mentions. I'm not deep enough for that. It took me a little bit to get to narrow down to 10, but a lot of good tracks from this year, so we can jump in. Number 10 is from the Beach Boys. It's Help Me, Rhonda. I love this song. It's just a good pop song. I think the harmonies are nice and it's simple, it's effective, gets stuck in your head. It's a great kind of pre-Pet Sound era song. So, Help Me, Rhonda. My number 9 is A Well-Respected Man by Kinks. This was a non-album single, I believe. I don't know. Someone can correct me. I didn't actually listen through the Kinks, so you guys can yell at me if that's wrong. But this is great. Discovered this song from Juno. Remember that movie? Yeah. Uh, Still love it. Love the kind of, I don't know, the melody of the vocals, and think it just goes really nice. Number 8, I have a Rolling Stones song. I chose Get Off My Cloud. Um, the song is great, actually. Yeah, I we'll see how I feel about the Rolling Stones going forward. I know I like some of their music. I'm less hot on some other stuff than others are, but the drum groove is what really sells me here. It's just so consistent. It's so good, so simple, but um, yeah, this is just an instant classic. I love it. So Get Off My Cloud, number 8. Um, Number 7, I'm going with Tracks of My Tears. Yeah, it's kind of an easy pick, but I think there's a reason that it was such a big hit, and I think Smokey sounds really good, and the melancholy vibe is just very very convincing. So Tracks of My Tears, it's a good one. My number 6 is Part 2, Resolution by John Coltrane on A Love Supreme. So he didn't make my top 5, but Part 2, whoa, everyone is going so hard to resolve whatever they're trying to, I guess, resolve their love or something. I mean, it's bananas, truly, and definitely my favorite part of the record. So, um, Part 2, Resolution. Number 5 was a very cool discovery for me. I got to check these guys out. Should I say guys? Should I say gals out? Um, My number 5 is Out in the Streets by the Shangri-Las. Whoa. Um, Very cool. Kind of the Bad Girls group of 1965. Yeah, I definitely want to check them out more. This was the favorite of the album I listened to. This was my favorite, but just about a bad boy who was turning good, and she's remorseful that he'd come back out into the streets where his heart is. Um, anyway, Shangri-La's, check them out. My number 4 is I've Been Loving You Too Long by Otis Redding. So there's our match. This song rocks. Yeah, this is a great original. Probably my favorite on the record. Um, Simple melody gives a lot of space for Otis to shine through, and he does in a big way. He just soars. So yeah, it doesn't quite make my top 3, but you'll understand why. Um, my number 3 bronze medal goes to Nina Simone with Sinnerman. Um, it's 10 minutes long. It's like a rock and jazz tune. Um, Power to the Lord just over and over. I mean, how can you not love it? I love it. I think it's been used in everything for good reason. I'd try to get the rights to it if I were creative. Uh, my number 2 is Bob Dylan. Subterranean Homesick Blues is the one song I get to pick from Bob Dylan in all of 1965. Um, yeah, I think it's one of the better anti-establishment drug rap songs, whatever you want to call it. It's a great song. Um, I love the cadence of his voice. I think his voice, it's obviously unique and different, but I think it sounds great here. Um, and it's just my favorite of Bob Dylan from 1965. So my number 1 is of course In My Life. It's might be my favorite Beatles song. So no surprise there. It's a perfect song. You already talked about it, but it's probably the highlight of the record, and kind of the way I think of Rubber Soul is it's all kind of formulated around the sound, and kind of culminates to In My Life. So it's perfect. It's number 1. That's 1965. Fun year.
Few notes on what you were saying there. He's I don't I it'll be interesting to see how many times the two of us have the same number 1 song. I don't think we should take this for granted. And album as well. This is crazy.
That's true. That's
And
true.
I think the jazz heads, you've really appeased them with your Coltrane love. I think they'll think that me and Vanessa are not cool and that you're very cool. So
Well, we'll see. Vanessa might have Coltrane in there.
maybe.
You're just assuming.
What, number 8? Yeah, he was an honorable mention.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll keep an open mind. If you want to pick Coltrane at the last minute, you can. But
No, I didn't. You're right. But so my list is a bit different. I have a couple matches, but not very many. My number 10 is the Kinks with Till the End of the Day. It's just super catchy. Love the guitar on this and the harmonies. I just think it has a super cool sound for the time. My number 9 is the Supremes and Back in My Arms Again. Classic Motown sound, can't go wrong. I think the vibraphone and the sax add an extra touch to make the song extra special, and of course the vocals. But those 2 instrumental touches really bring that song together for me. My number 8 is Loretta Lynn and Blue Kentucky Girl. It's a classic song that Loretta inhabits, but it's not an original. It feels like it should be, but it's not. There's just something about the way that she sings on this song that brings her personality into it. And I just love it. It's got a bit of a mournful nature to it, but and all the instrumentation is perfection, of course, for like most country of that time was, because they had the same studio musicians doing a lot of the stuff, but it's just great. Number 7 is the Beach Boys, but Dance, 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 which is just such a fun song. It's impossible to hear this song and not want to instantly be at like some sort of like 60s beach party like they had in those movies. It's just so much fun. I love the way that they sing Dance, 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 Dance. just great. Number 6. Number 6 is the Four Tops. It's the same old song. is the one that I picked. Levi Stubbs' lead vocals are just impeccable on this, and all the instrumentation by the Funk Brothers is fantastic. I just love the addition to this of the strings on it as well. It's just impossible to go wrong with Motown in this era. Like, so many classics. Hard to pick, really. Number 5 is Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash and It Ain't Me, Babe. I love a good Johnny and June duet. There's just always such an electric chemistry between the two of them. I love the rollicking nature of this cover, and it always just brings a smile to my face. I just love this version of the song. Number 4 is The Byrds and Here Without You, which is my favorite Byrds original and really my favorite song on that album, I think. I just absolutely love this song. I love everything about it, the mournful tone, the harmonies, the melody, and I like how it shifts at different points. Like, it just draws me in. It's just absolute gem of a song. The first time I ever heard the album, it stood out for me, and it's been my favorite ever since. Number 3 is Bob Dylan with Tombstone Blues. So when I was younger, I struggled with Bob Dylan a lot. My dad was a fan, and he made me a mixed CD called 18 Reasons to Like Bob Dylan. So there was just all these songs he thought I would like. And this song was on it, and it worked. I just really connected with this song. I liked how fast it was, and I just thought it was really cool. Always gets me hyped, and it really makes me excited for the rest of the album. So I just think it's a great song. And my number 2, which I'm going to ruin the trifecta again. But my number 2 is In My Life, which I absolutely love this song, of course, just like both of you. I've just seen a face almost like overtook it, but I was like, no, that's crazy. I can't do that. But like, yeah, I just love how nostalgic it is. I love that it conveys that absolutely perfectly. I love that Baroque sounding piano solo on it. Like, just like you both said, I mean, can't really add to it. It's perfect song. It's fantastic. And my number 1 is Otis Redding with I've Been Loving You Too Long, because I mean, that's just an unmatchable vocal performance on this song. You feel every note that he's singing. The musical arrangement perfectly enhances his performance, but never overpowers him. The horn section is fantastic. The guitar is too. Like, everything on it is just comes together perfectly, but he is the star of the show here. And it just builds to such a satisfying conclusion. Like, it was my song of the year when I made my original list, and that wasn't going to change. So yeah, just had to go and ruin everything.
I can't be mad about that. Yeah, that's a great number 1.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, Chris and I both had it just missing out on medals. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We all 3 of us had Otis Blue, Highway 61, and Rubber Soul on our lists, and all 3 of us had In My Life and I've Been Loving You Too Long on our songs list. So yeah, pretty good going. I don't know how often we'll get that level of matching, but it's cool to happen on episode 1. So yeah, that's 1965 wrapped up and done, just like that. So if you're looking forward to more of these, hit the like button and let us know in the comments, and give us your lists. I'd love to see some songs lists down there. Hopefully you can bring some more variety than we have. No, we did okay. I think we had some good variety in there. Yeah, like I mentioned, a week from you seeing this video, hopefully will be the 1966 albums video. So yeah, I'm going to try and have them come out on the same day every week, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you, Vanessa and Chris, for joining me, and for agreeing on this expansive project, and so much time we will sink into this. But I'm very excited to get into it. Yeah, thanks for watching, and hope to catch you soon.